Hello students, welcome back to your science class. I hope you have completed your home assignment and worksheet that was sent to you. Now, I will quickly recall what you have learnt in your previous class. You learnt about force and different types of force. They are muscular force, gravitational force, magnetic force and frictional force. In today's class, you will learn more about frictional force. That is a new chapter. Friction as a force. In this chapter, you will learn about meaning and uses of frictional force. Now, observe this video carefully. You can see the girl is riding bicycle and the baby girl, she is walking on the road. The girl who is riding the bicycle suddenly applies brakes in order to avoid crashing the baby girl. What happens to the bicycle when brakes are applied? The bicycle comes to halt or it stops. How does it stop, children? It stops because the force is generated between the brakes and the rim of the wheels of the bicycle. This force opposes the forward motion of the bicycle. Hence, it stops. This force is called as frictional force. So, how you can define frictional force, children? You can define it as the force that slows down or stops a moving object is called frictional force. I repeat, the force that slows down or stops a moving object is called frictional force. The frictional force is the opposing force that tries to resist the speed of the body when it comes in contact with another surface. Now look at this picture carefully, children. You can observe the object. When the object is pushed, the object moves in this direction. That is the direction of the motion. And when it comes in contact with another surface, this is another surface, so it reduces the speed or resists the speed if the object is moving in this direction. The direction of the frictional force is in the opposite direction. So, I repeat, if the object is moving in this direction, the frictional force is in the opposite direction, that is opposite to the direction of the motion of the object. Now look at this demonstration carefully. Here is the inclined plane or slope and here is the smooth surface and this is the rough surface. Now observe this demonstration carefully, children. So, I will roll this pen from this slope and observe what happens. You saw that the pen rolled very fast. Now, let us see in the rough surface. What did you see, children? You saw that the pen went very slow. What can you conclude from this activity? You can conclude that friction is less on smooth surface and friction is more on rough surface. So, in the smooth surface, you saw that the pen rolled very fast or the friction is less on smooth surface. And on the rough surface, you saw that the pen rolled very slow. That is, friction is more on rough surface. So, if you see in and around, you can see various activities. Friction plays an important role in our everyday activities. Now, let us see some of the uses of friction or the frictional force. What can you see in the short video? You can see that the boy is walking. How is he walking, or how we are able to walk? It is because of friction between the footwear and the ground that we are able to walk. Look at this video carefully. You can see the man is running. How is he able to run? That is, without falling, how is he able to run? It is because of friction that he is able to run. Because of friction between the footwear and the ground, the man is able to run. So you can say, because of friction, we can walk without falling, and we can run without skidding or falling. Observe this video carefully, children. You can see that the man is walking on the wet floor. What happens? When he walks on wet floor, he slips down and falls. It is because friction is less and he slips and falls. So, you have to be careful when you are walking on the wet floor to avoid slipping and falling. How you are able to write? Now, look at this demonstration carefully. Here is the paper and here I have the pen, and I will write on the paper. So, how am I able to write? It is because of friction. Even in pencil, when you write something on the paper, how you are able to write? It is because of friction. The lead from the pencil is worn out, and when we write, it sticks on the paper. Because of friction. There is friction between the lead or the pencil and the paper that we are able to write. Now, how we are able to erase what is written? Look at this demonstration carefully, children. I have the eraser and I will rub what is written. So, how we are able to erase? It is because of friction between the eraser and the paper. We are able to remove the lead that is stuck on the paper. Hence, from this demonstrations, you can conclude that to write or to erase what is written, friction is useful. That is, in writing and erasing, friction is useful. Look at this video. You can see that the car is moving. How is the car able to move, or how you can ride the car without skidding? It is because of friction between the tires and the road that we are able to ride car without skidding. What about riding car on the snow or rain? How does it skid? Because the friction is very less, or the snow reduces the friction. So, when you ride car or the car is driven without skidding because of friction between the tires and the road. Now, Let us recapitulate by answering some of the questions. In today's class, you learnt what is frictional force or the definition of frictional force. That is the force that slows down or stops a moving object is called frictional force. You learnt about different uses of frictional force or the uses of friction. They are: we are able to walk or run due to friction. While writing or rubbing, there is friction between the paper and pencil or eraser. The car is able to move on the road without skidding because of friction between the tires and the road. Now, here is the home assignment. Which is easier to ride a bicycle on the floor or the grass? Which is easier to ride a bicycle on the floor or the grass? So, you have to write in which it is easy to ride the bicycle, whether it is on grass or the floor or road. A ball is rolling on a grass towards the north. What will be the direction of the frictional force acting on the ball? So, you can see that the ball is moving in the north direction. You have to write what will be the direction of frictional force acting on the ball. You have to complete this home assignment in your rough book. In the next class, you will learn more about frictional force. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.